Yes, my permission. Okay, it's record right now. It's getting recorded right now. Okay, we are recording.
Yeah,
Okay, Joseph, how are you?
I'm doing great. How's it going?
Yeah, nice to see you again.
Nice to see you as
So,
well.
yeah, it seems on the news, we had so many things after Andrew Tate just
Yeah,
got released, and you know that still his custody in house has been extended for another month.
yeah,
Um, and he also get kind of swelling faces and skin and probably kind of allergic or disease, but he refused to go to see a doctor. But
hmm,
meanwhile, after many other things that happened, we want to go live and talk about this sooner, but
yeah,
we didn't get the time. But right now we are starting to talk about it. It was one of them. The first just came that was about um, Liam Don Lemon has been basically fired from the CNN, and the
yeah,
other one, Carlson Tucker, fired from Fox.
yeah. Both of
And
them controversial.
yeah,
Very
yeah,
controversial.
they had similar kind of we can say similarities between the reason that they has been fired from their broadcast and their media.
Yeah,
But we first wanted to talk about Lemon, basically Don Lemon, that why he got fired after his comment about one of the Republican candidates, that she has passed her time.
yeah,
That was the reason that they mentioned that he basically has been fired
yeah,
from his basically duties and services. We can share here basically the web that we have about this.
yeah.
Uh,
So interesting thing is this Lemon,
or
Don
maybe you
Lemon.
can talk about it. It's better to talk about it. So bring
Sure.
some reasoning, Joseph.
This is an interesting personality. He was the first open black anchors to come out
Mhm.
and expressly say that he was gay, and so we expected, I guess, big things were expected of him. But his track record, just like Tucker Carlson's, were a tad bit towards the controversial side. He's had quite a few. He's had two apologies wherein he said he's committed to do better. He's got further concerns with lawsuits. Like you said, he's called the Republican MP that she's past her prime. And when asked what is the prime for a woman, he said it was between 20s and 30s, and maybe
Mhm.
40s. So a lot of controversial statements. There was a lawsuit in which he against him for assault, and which got settled out of court apparently. And so it's been an interesting character. But he's been solid for CNN. He's been out there, and
For
at the end,
17 years, right? And I didn't know that he was gay. He was he gay? He
yeah,
announced it
he
publicly
was
that he was gay.
yeah, he was one of the first gay black anchors to come out
Mm.
as such. And so uh, yeah, he was more towards the left, I guess. He was expected to be on the left of the political spectrum, but it's been a little uncomfortable for him over the years. And with his recent firing, it's yeah, what's his stance right now? Is he employed at any platforms, or
Well, yeah,
what's?
that's what he mentioned. He said after 17 years that he's been fired. The first reaction of him that was he was thinking one of the top managers after 17 years of my services for the CNN, to have a little bit of decency, to talk to me directly and let me know what's the reason that I've been fired. But now we cannot change anything. And then after he saw in a red carpet that when they asked your question that what's next, and then do you looking for any other job, he says no, currently I don't look for any other job because first of all I don't need it, and thank God I stand in a good position financially for now, and wanted to spend my summer on the boat and in the beach, and then having relaxed. And then after he thinks about his future and he says he has some plans for his future. That's about Lemon.
Yeah, he can start his own podcast, like all these people with all this experience, and if you have a bigger audience, most of them are switching on towards online platforms without a company backing, like CNN.
That's
They
correct.
have their own guidelines and policies, while a podcast, even though you will get in trouble, but it's not under a federal legislation. You're not going under a policy wherein you're cornered, like the conversation we are having right now. Another one, when you talk about this Lemon, that came to my mind is he said women's soccer is less interesting than men's.
Yeah,
This is
yeah, I heard he had some basically before talk about the Republican Nikki Haley, about that she has passed her prime. Also, yes, she had also other comments like regarding to women, which brought some attention and concern about the audience. And CNN, I don't know, decided to maybe that yeah, they have to dismiss him.
yeah, it could be the way he put it as well. Another interesting one is he said politicians above the age of 75 should have a mental competency test if they have to run for office. Like Biden is the oldest guy right now, and uh, I don't know if it's relevant, but that's something that he said that turned out to be controversial. So he's had some strong points, which, if he had put it better, would have been taken better. We don't know, but it all became controversies. So yeah, that's the man.
Yeah, right now these days that's what it is. And the other person that was also controversial and he was so influential in the media, that was in another giant and media, which is in the Fox News, and he was the host of the morning show, Carlson Tucker. He also has been fired, but in case of him, we cannot detect and exact say what was the exact reason that he's been dismissed and fired from the Fox. But what is the updated right now, that Carlson didn't accept the fire, and basically secretly and hiddenly he tries to fight back and keep the show and contract out of basically Fox, and find another sponsor or platform to to keep his shows at least with the
Yeah.
name that what he had before. But that's what it is that stands for now. But the reason we can bring about him, I believe that was one of the reasons about his basically tendency towards Putin and supporting Russia somehow
Yeah,
in the Ukraine and Russia war. We can say that.
yeah, this guy, this I don't know about if Don Lemon was on the left of the spectrum. That was just a guess that I made. I'm not sure about that. I've not done my research enough to say if he's on the left, but for Tucker Carlson, he was definitely on the right. He was with the Republican. He was full on. So is Fox News. He was literally the mouthpiece for the Republican Donald Trump during the campaign and during his tenure. And a lot of people, most of America, identified with that ideology. And Yeah, he's been he's been in hot water as well. A lot of sexism, lot of anti-Semitism coming his way. Uh, Especially during the election when Trump lost the elections, him and Fox News kind of took uh, put out the message that it was rigged, the elections were rigged, and yeah, the company, like the company Dominion, is that Dominion that sued Fox News and Carlson, saying that they were defamed by his comments. So he's an interesting character who's been highly controversial as well. He's had many statements. One of the things was immigrants would make the country poor and disliked. So he's had his fair share of comments on the other side too. I believe both of
Mm.
these guys could come together for a podcast, Don Lemon and Tucker Carlson. But
Yeah. I agree. They can become ally and do something together, but I'm not sure because CNN and Fox, there are two different things. CNN is more light on Democrats, and Fox News is more the fan of Republican. And you can say that Carson is more kind of maybe Republican, but he bashed and he had so much criticized about the Trump as well. He was not Trump fan, and also another reason we can bring out, he was also always frank and honest about his faith to Christianity.
yeah, yeah.
We can say another reason maybe is a kind of controversial and lead to his dismissal from Fox News as well. Is there any other reason you can bring it about it?
For Tucker Carlson, the last one that I kind of jotted down here was that the Capitol riots. So a large group of I think it was pro-Trump Republican. I don't want to be. I don't want to quote them, but they attacked the Capitol, and then Tucker Carlson. It was a huge breach of security, huge breach in a democratic state. Tucker Carlson downplayed it, said that it was the most peaceful chaos he had ever seen at that time. So, well, he took sides for sure. He had his opinion and he took sides, and he was softer to people who he took sides with. But now that another thing was Tucker Carlson. One of the reasons that we discussed was Tucker Carlson was becoming bigger than the company, and he, because his show was the biggest show for Fox, the biggest rating, the statements that he made gave all them came the viewers came that way, and so there was a point when Fox thought of, do we still need this man? Do we still cash in for him? Do we still cover for him? Do we still settle his lawsuits? Do we still keep him running? And I think at some point Fox was like, okay, this is a time when we have to call it a day. We don't know the reasons yet why he got fired, or was it a mutual? So at some point, it had to happen, I guess.
Yeah, I believe. Yeah, as you point, a very good point that yeah, he became bigger than the company, and somehow the employer they felt he's not listening anymore, and he doesn't follow the basically the protocols and rules and restriction, whatever it is. Yeah,
Something what I wanted to point out now that this came up, there was a news anchor in India. So this guy, he was in an institution like Fox, not particularly siding towards the state, but he was outspoken. He was the biggest show, and then he was fired. He was fired because of his controversial opinions, and he went on to start another company, another news outlet, which is called Republic, and now that has become like a Fox News, like a pro-government, right-wing propaganda house. So he's done well for himself. So Tucker Carlson, I'm not comparing these two, totally different people, totally different scenarios. But if Tucker Carlson went on to start a media outlet, which is not easy, or same with Don Lemon, they could still be successful. Is what I am
Even I heard
coming
that
on.
officially Patrick Bet-David from Valuetainment offered Carlson Tucker show and position in Valuetainment. The offer was $100 million for him
That's that's the
to
thing. You look
come
at,
and work
yeah,
for Valuetainment.
yeah. Hopefully, we can get there ourselves.
Yeah,
uh,
or who knows, maybe
yeah,
future.
that's the thing with platforms like this. People are not restricted. Obviously, we can't make racial or anti-Semitic statements, or but these people can come together with there's no policy, company policies where they can speak their mind and get paid for it in millions,
Mm,
right? So they're not totally out of it. People will still watch them. So yeah, it's let's see what happens.
yeah, as you point out, anti-Semitism and anti-Jews as well. I think that was
Yeah,
something that brought up about the Carson as well. That was sensitive areas that maybe he was, banned from
yeah.
Fox News.
Hmm.
But yeah, yeah. Today was I really loved to talk to you, and then we just point out all the points more than enough that I was thinking given about it.
Yeah,
And later on, we can touch about another news and
sure,
talk. We should already talk about it, but we can release it later on.
for sure, for sure.
But for now, thank you so much for being here,
It's
and
always a
then
pleasure
we
to,
talk together.
for sure, sure.